Okay, hi guys. So, I decided to do my equestrian pet peeves because I don't know, a lot of people are doing them and it seemed fun. So, okay. My first equestrian pet peeve is when people take the cross ties that I was going to use. I appreciate that if I don't put my stuff there, you can't tell if I'm going to use them or not, obviously. But if my saddle and my pads that I'm going to use, my girth and my bridle, and everything's hanging up right there, then you don't take it. You see if someone's going to use it, and if no one uses it, then you can take it. But you don't just take the cross tie that someone has already staked out. It gets on my nerves so much that, especially because my horse, he doesn't like to stand in the aisles because other horses play with the cross tie thing. So he doesn't like it pulling on his head or whatever. I don't know. He's weird about that kind of stuff. But so I like the box cross tie, and everyone always takes my box cross tie. I put my stuff in there. I put my bridle in there. I put my grooming supplies and everything. I put everything in there for him, and then I go around. I lead him over to take it, and someone already has it. And I'm like, okay, thanks a lot for nothing. Okay, so my riding pet peeve number 2 is when people brag about the expensive stuff that they got or that they have or whatever. Like, oh, I have a Charles Owen helmet. Oh, what do you have? An Ovation? Ha ha. I don't care if I have like a $300 helmet or $300 pants, like tailored sportsmen. Yes, I do own tailored sportsmen, but it was a Christmas present, and it's not like I go around and say, oh, I own tailored sportsmen, and what do you own? Tough Rider or whatever? I don't know. Another brand? I mean, who cares? Who cares that you own a $3,000 saddle that you bought with your own money or that your parents bought for you or whatever? Who cares? I don't need to see all over my social media sites that you have really expensive stuff. I don't care. I don't. I don't know why, but it gets on my nerves so much. I don't have, like, I have stuff that works. I have a good bridle, I have a good halter, I have a good saddle, I have a good pants, whatever, good show clothes, I have a good helmet, but I don't have a Charles Owen. And I don't have one because I don't really have a desire to have one. I'm sure that if I asked for Christmas or something, one of my parents would buy it for me or something like that, but I don't need one. I have a horse, and his board and training and horse shows and everything I do already costs so much that I don't need fancy stuff as long as it does the job. And maybe you don't own a horse, so you don't have to pay as much as my family has to. So then you can get cooler stuff for yourself. And that's totally awesome. But I don't want to hear about it. I really don't. For some reason, that gets on my nerves so, so much. My best friend does it all the time. She's like, oh, I got a Charles Owen. Oh, and I got tailored sportsmen. Oh, and I got the new Ariat belt. And oh yeah, I got a Charles Owen helmet bag. And oh my gosh, it's so cool. And oh my gosh, Tina, you should really get a Charles Owen with me because, you just kind of look like a loser with an Ovation helmet. I have a GPA that I use for shows. I have an Ovation I use for schooling. It does the job, it looks fine, it works. When I fall, it protects my head. That's all I want. Okay, so my riding pet peeve number 3 is when people tell me things about my horse. Like, if I'm riding and I'm like, oh, that was pretty bad, he's being a brat today. No, he's not. He looks perfect. Well, you don't know because you don't ride my horse. Like, I mean, you don't. You've never been on my horse, and you don't know how he acts, so you can't tell me, like, I mean, but no, so my horse, I was like, my goal for this year is to do 3 foot with my new horse. And, I mean, like, we can work him up to it. He was in the pasture for 2 years, he was totally neglected, but he's coming back really well, and we want to work him up to it. I don't need people going around saying, oh, well, he doesn't always get his lead changes 100%, or, oh, he can only jump 2.6 right now. I don't care what he can only do right now, because I've only had him since, I mean, what's today? Is the 12th of January, and I had him, you know, the 6th. I got him on the 6th of December, so I've maybe had him about a month. I don't care what he can do now. Obviously, I care because I care about his, his health and all that stuff, but I don't need you to tell me what to do with my horse, what I can't do with my horse. That's what I pay my trainer for, and I don't pay you last time I checked, so you can just back off. Okay, my fourth pet peeve is when people box me in a flat class. Like, I'm trotting along the rail, I'm keeping my distance from everyone, I'm perfectly fine, we're doing good, we look great, whatever. And then this girl decides to come up next to me and push me into the rail so that she can get in front of me or behind me. And I don't know why she would do that, because obviously I don't want to be boxed in. I mean, who wants to be boxed in? No one wants to be boxed in. I mean, like, I literally say, could you please not box me in the middle of my flat class, just so she won't box me in. I said it right by the judge one time. I still got 3rd place. I mean, you don't box someone in. It gets on my nerves, it makes no sense, and it only makes you look bad, because you do it, and then you're all like, oh, I just boxed her in, yada yada yada, now I have a good place for my horse, and yada yada yada, now I can do this and this and that. No one cares, because you know what I can do? I can go box you in back if I wanted to, which I don't, but I could, so, it's not worth it to me. Okay, so that's my 4th pet peeve. My 5th pet peeve is when people brag or about what they won in shows. When they're like, oh, I got a 1st place in this and this and this against this person and this person, and I'm really proud of myself because yada 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 yada. I understand and appreciate that you did good, because when I do good and I get grand champion or reserve or whatever, I'm ecstatic. I mean, it's a good feeling to know that you won, you beat people, but you don't need to tell everyone who just watched you compete. And I mean, it's not one of my bigger ones, because sometimes I'll do the same thing. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe I got 1st. I can't believe I got grand champion. I can't believe I got 2 firsts and a 2nd, and then I got grand champion. Oh my god, it's my 1st grand champion, or whatever. I will sometimes do it, and so I can't be too mean to people about it, because that's one of my problems I have sometimes, and it's understandable, because you're happy, and you just want to get it out, but after, talking about it for 10 minutes, you kind of need to stop, because no one else wants to hear it. And then this kind of goes along with my 6th one, kind of goes along with my 5th one, is when people say they got a 3rd in a flat class or a jumping whatever show, and they're they come back, I deserved 2nd, or I deserved the 1st place in that class, we were perfect. I absolutely hate when people say they deserved something, but they didn't get it. I've been in a flat class, and it was one of my horse's best flat classes ever. This was in Hunters, and he did awesome. He leveled out, but I mean, I think I got like third or something. I was happy. I was a little mad because we did really good, but it's just the judge's point of view. If she or he doesn't like the way he looks, then they're not going to give him a place. Sorry. A good place or something. But you can't get mad at the judge. I mean, it's not... That's why they're there, is to judge you. And maybe you thought you looked good, but you actually didn't. Or something like that. But I just can't stand when people are like, I deserved this place, and blah, 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 blah. Instead of, I should have gotten... whatever, yada, 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 and I should have gotten this, and this, and that, and blah, 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 blah. And then my final and last pet peeve, my sixth pet peeve, is when people tell me that my equitation is bad. I absolutely hate when people point out to me, like, Sienna, push your heels down. Sienna, push your hips back over the jump. Sienna, you know, stick your toes out a little more. Sienna, put your toes in more. Sienna, sit up straighter. Sienna, hands back. Sienna, hands up. Yada, yada, yada. Thumbs on top. Close your fingers. Okay. I think I said this before with, like, when people tell me, you know, about my horse. But I pay my trainer. I pay my trainer to tell me how to ride because she teaches me. I do not pay you to tell me how to ride. And I understand, like, I guess I kind of understand if they're trying to help you out, but sometimes I'll ask if I'm just schooling by myself. I'll say, if there's something that I'm doing bad, could you kind of, like, point it out to me? But I don't, when I'm just going by myself and I feel like I'm doing good and I'm on a roll or whatever, and they go, my friend comes up and she sits down and she's like, she's 14, so she's older than me, but, because I'm only 13, but she sometimes thinks that she knows everything and she really doesn't, so it gets annoying, but she'll, like, tell me what to do, and sometimes I like it because, like, in my flat class, if my trainer, because we have a lot of people at our barn. I have a big show barn in Seminole, Florida, and we go to shows. There's a lot of people. So, like, say we're at an A-rated show, and my trainer has to go be with, like, a pony in the pony ring, and I'm showing in the big ring doing, like, 2-6 or whatever. Then she can't be there, and usually she tries her best to be there for every jumping class, but sometimes she can't be there for the flat classes, and when that happens, I do like my friends to kind of point out to me, just every once in a while, what I could do better, so that I'm not doing the flat class completely by myself. I mean, which has happened before, and it's not that bad, actually, you think about it, because you kind of, like, you don't get stressed out, because your trainer isn't yelling at you to do something. She's just kind of not there. So you just feel a little more confident, I guess. I don't know. My trainer scares me sometimes. It's pretty scary. But, well, those were my pet peeves. Comment below, because I'd love to hear what your guys' pet peeves are, and see if we have any alike. I have probably, like, loads more that I just can't think of. So, thanks for watching so much, and subscribe.